I'm live. Hello, good morning. We'll get started in just about a minute or two. So hello, happy Monday. Today's going to be another gentle flow class, so it'll be a great way to start your Monday. So yeah, that's all I got. Hello. Okie dokie. I got 9:30. So we'll start class today laying on our backs. And just feeling yourself grounding into your yoga mat here. Maybe it's first thing in the morning, or if you're taking this class later, it could be the afternoon. But really just using this first moment of class for an inward reflection. Checking in with your body to see where you are today. See where you are right now in this moment. And then a gentle reminder that the next 60 minutes or so is really just a breathing practice. It's not about getting any of the poses right or wrong. It's not about how many times you fall out of a pose or come back. But it's about staying in tune with the breath. Staying present with each moment of inhale and each moment of exhale. Placing your hands on your stomach, and just start to sip in a little bit more air. See if you can inflate the belly so that the hands rise just a little. And then as you exhale, let the hands lower gently. Good. We'll take a big, deep breath in through the nose, filling the lungs and low belly. And then exhale, sigh it out. A couple more times, just like that. Big breath in. Sighing it out with some sound. One more time, big, deep breath in through the nose. And like you're trying to fog up a window or a mirror, exhale, let it go. This time, big breath in through your nose. And then seal the lips now. Let that exhale push the air out with that same force and sound. And starting to find a rhythm with the breathing here. You have control of each of these breaths in and each of the breaths out. And if at any time you forget about the breath, there's an invitation to return. So on your next inhale, go ahead and reach your arms up over your head so the body's reaching out long like a big good morning stretch. Toes reaching to the bottom of the mat, arms reaching past the top. Good. As you exhale, squeeze the knees into the chest. Big hug here. Pressing your low spine into the mat. Just a gentle rock side to side. You may feel some sensations in the hips, maybe in the low back. And then we'll just take an easy little twist here. Allow the knees to fall to the right. Arms can open out to the side or bend at the elbows. And then your head can gently twist to the left. Maybe feeling the body start to wake up here. Good. A big deep breath in to bring the knees through the center. And then exhale, soften over to the left side. Bringing the knees back into the chest. Take a big deep breath in, reach the body out nice and long again. And this time as you exhale, squeeze the knees. Try to lift the shoulders up off the mat, curling the chin to the chest. Feel a little bit of a crunch in the abdominals there. Good. We'll hold here an extra breath or two. I'm starting to feel the activation of that core. And then as you exhale, go ahead and place the feet flat on the floor. You're going to reach the arms up overhead. Feel the feet rooting down. They should be heels in line with the hips there, and then the knees right in that same alignment. So if the knees start to flop out, try to keep them pulled in. And then take the arms down by your side, press the palms down. And then as you breathe in, start to lift the hips up. It's a little bit of a bridge pose here. And just hold here for a couple breaths, feeling the heart opening, the ribs opening. And then as you exhale, gently lower down to the mat. Good. Your next breath in, we'll take another bridge pose. Inhale, start to lift up off of the mat, pressing those hips high. Each inhale, the hips lift just a little bit more. If you'd like to move a little deeper, you can roll the shoulders under, interlacing the hands beneath you, or you can keep the palms pressing down into the mat. Again, if those knees start to separate, try to pull those thighs inward so that the heel, the knees, and hips are all in line. Exhale to gently roll back down. A big squeeze of the knees here, and this time we'll start to rock forward and back gently until you make your way up to a seated position. Placing the hands in front of you, we'll come to a tabletop pose. In the shape here, the shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. As you inhale, start to drop the belly down, open the heart, look up towards the ceiling. Exhale, press and round, really squeezing all of that air out. Inhale, belly drops, eyes start to lift upward. Exhale, press and round. So now we start to find this rhythm in the body. The inhale's opening, and the exhale's closing. Good. Big deep breath in. Just a few more times here, moving with the rhythm of your own breathing. And we'll meet in a neutral spine. Go ahead and take the right leg, extend it behind you. The toes are curled under, so you're just balancing there now on the toes, one knee and two hands. And I want you to really push the weight into the ball of that right foot so that you can take some of the pressure off the knee, pushing strong into the hands. And maybe if you're feeling fancy, you could lift that knee up off the yoga mat. If not, you can leave it down. Just starting to feel your core here. It's like a little modified plank pose or a little crunch of the knee in. Good. Step the left foot back so you're at the top of a push-up. You can always lower the knees down. And then as you exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. Pressing into the hands here to open the heart to look up and out. And then an exhale to gently soften back down. Good. We'll curl the toes, and then we'll start to take the hips up and back into our first downward facing dog of class today. This is an upside down V. You can go ahead and bend the knees, shift the hips side to side, whatever you need for your body to kind of wake up here today. And then we'll return to that tabletop. So soften the knees down, pressing firm into the hands. And then this time we'll step the left foot back, toes curl. So you're feeling that plank pose, but one knee is down here. Really start to push into the hands, maybe the upper back rounds, and push into the left ball of the foot so that the right knee becomes light on the yoga mat. Even if you just lift it a centimeter and then lower it back down, try to find that lightness in the knee so you feel the abdominals and the core engaged. Maybe even lift that knee all the way up if you're feeling really strong today. Good. Step the right foot back, top of your push-up, knees down, always an option. Lower all the way down to the belly. Pressing into the hands, lift the heart up. Hold for an extra 2 breaths. Good. Exhale to bring yourself all the way back down. Curling the toes, taking the hips up and back, finding that downward facing dog here. And then holding for a few breaths. As you inhale, lift up to your tippy toes, look towards your hands. And then take as many steps as you need to walk to the front of your yoga mat. And then we'll just dangle here in this forward folding position. You can soften the knees if you need. Maybe grab opposite elbows so that there's more weight in the upper body. Or you can leave the fingers reaching down to the mat. Just spend a few moments here sinking into the sensations that come up. Releasing the fingers back down towards the ground. And then as you inhale, slide the hands to the shins to look up and out. Find some length here for a little flat back action. And then as you take a big deep breath out, soften into the fold. 2 more times here. It's a big breath in to look up and out. And then exhale, soften into the fold. 1 more time, big breath in. Find that length. And then maybe fold into the deepest place you can. And then as you inhale next, stand all the way up. Reach your arms nice and high. Look towards your fingers. And then exhale. We'll take a side bend over to the right. So catch the right wrist. Feel your right wrist pulling over so the left side body is long. And then root down into the left foot there. So you really get a big stretch through the side body. Big deep breath in brings you through the center. Exhale takes you over to the left, pulling on the right wrist here, rooting into the right foot. Long side body stretch. As you come back to the center, look up for a little bit of a back bend. And then exhale, dive forward, melting the heart down. Take a half lift as you inhale. Exhale, soften down. As you inhale, stand all the way up. Reach the arms nice and high. We'll take that little sequence 1 more time. Exhale, side bend to the right. Good. Your inhale brings you through the center. And then exhale over to the left. Inhale brings you back to the center. Small little back bend looking up. And then exhale, dive forward, melting in. Good. Take that half lift. And then exhale, plant your hands down. Step the feet back, top of your push-up here. You can lower the knees and then soften down to the chest. Inhale, lift the heart up. Exhale, take your weight to downward facing dog. Upside down V. And let's try to find the breath if you've lost track of it here. 3 deep ujjayi is what it's called, breaths. Creating that sound and rhythm now. Finding a little bit of a quicker pace in our practice. Inhale up to the tippy toes, look to your hands, and then as many steps as you need to walk to the front. It's a half lift to look up and out. And then exhale, softens you back down. Inhale, you stand up tall, reach the arms high. And then exhale, drip over to the right. Inhale brings you through the center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale back to the center, chin lifts to look up. And then exhale, dive forward, reach for those toes. It's a half lift on the inhale. Exhale, hands plant, step back. And then lowering all the way down. Inhale, it's an up dog or cobra. And then exhale, it's downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths. Inhale up to the tippy toes. Make your way to the front of the mat on the exhale. Half lift, breathing in. Exhale, soften down. Inhale, stand all the way up, reach the arms nice and high, look past the fingers. One more round through. This is our sun salutation A. Inhale brings you through the center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale, center, heart lift, small back bend, and then diving forward as you breathe out. Half lift on the breath in, and then exhale, plant the hands, step back. Lowering down to the chest. Inhale opens the heart. Exhale, take it to downward facing dog. Breathing strong and deep here. Good, big breath in. And then exhale, start to walk the hands back towards the feet. Now we're at the back of the mat here. Go ahead and heel toe the feet about hip distance apart. And we'll take your peace sign fingers, so your pointer and your middle finger. You're going to stick them between your big toe and the toe next to it. And wrap the toes with those 2 fingers. And bend the knees as much as you need here. Inhale, lift up for a little flat back. And then exhale, start to pull yourself into that stretch. If you've got the knees bent quite a bit, try to lift the hips towards the sky to feel a little bit more length in the backs of the legs. Feeling that opposition as you pull down with the hands and the hips floating a little bit higher. The crown of the head reaching down towards the mat. Breathing a few more moments here. A big breath in to find that flat back again. And then you can shift the hands to any variation you want. You can keep them on the toes. You can slide the palms underneath the hands so that the balls of the feet are stepping onto the hands. Or you could reach behind the calves, grounding for the hands behind you. Or just dangle here for 5 breaths. One more big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Half lift as you inhale, releasing any bind you have. And then exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, stand all the way up. And then step the feet together now. Big toes are going to touch. The heels are separated just a little bit. As you inhale, reach the arms nice and high. And then exhale, bring them to heart center and start to sit the hips down into chair pose, Utkatasana. And if you feel like the weight is really far forward, start to shift it back into the heels. And if you feel like the butt is sticking out too much, try to knit the ribs in, lift the belly, engage it so that the hips kind of tip just a little bit. And then imagine there's an invisible chair right behind you and you're trying to sit, but it's not quite there yet. It's almost like you're free falling, but feeling the quads burning just a little bit. 2 more deep breaths. Good. Inhale, stretch the arms nice and high. Look past the hands, straighten the legs. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, it's a half lift. Look up and out. Exhale, walk your hands to the front of the mat now. Lower down to the belly. Take the hands down by your sides now. You're going to press the fingernails into the mat till the palms are facing up. And then as you inhale, start to lift the shoulders up off the ground. The chin lifts with it. The heart's lifting as high as you can. Good. 2 more breaths. Good. Exhale, lower down. Now start to squeeze the thighs together. Bring the heels and the feet together so that the legs start to lift up off the ground. The chest stays down. Feel those legs lifting. Push into your fingernails to help the legs lift a little higher. And then exhale, lowers you back down. We'll take both of those movements together now. So as you inhale, squeeze the legs, lift the shoulders. The legs and shoulders both start to lift up off the ground. Holding 3 deep breaths. One more big inhale, lift. Exhale, soften back down to the mat. You can bring the hands forward. Place the cheek on the backs of the hands. And just feel the body heavy and relaxed for just a moment. We'll take that shape one more time. Now bringing the hands down by the sides, fingernails down. Squeezing the legs, lifting the shoulders, opening, lifting. Lifting 2 more breaths. Inhale, lift as high as you can. And then exhale, softens back down, hands to the front. Twist the cheek the other way, evening out. Good. Placing the hands down on the mat, we'll come to a downward facing dog. You let the right toes lift up off the ground. It's a 3-legged dog. Really rooting down into the left heel as the right toes float high. Pushing strong into the hands. And then as many steps as you need to get that right foot, step it between your hands. Lift up to the fingertips there so the palms aren't pushing down. We're lightly pressing into the fingertips. So we're in a little runner's lunge here. If your belly's dropped down, try to lift it up and engage it there. And push strong into that right leg. Your back left heel will start to rotate down towards the mat. So the left toes point towards the side of the mat. And then as you inhale, start to lift up. It's warrior 1. Your arms are going to reach high. Your hips drop low. And then if you feel the left shoulder floating backwards, try to pull it forward with the left hip. We'll hold 1 more big breath in. And then exhale, open up. It's warrior 2. Arms are reaching in 2 directions. Look out over the right fingertips. Feel the hips drop just a little bit lower. Good. Bring the left hand forward to meet the right hand. And then like you're pulling a bow and arrow, start to reach the right arm back. And then you can open that arm out to the right side. So you create like a 90-degree angle. And then start to let that right hand open just a little bit more. So you feel this rotation and twist over the right leg. Take 1 more big breath in. Exhale, bring the hands down to the yoga mat. Step the right foot back. And then make your way to downward facing dog. Taking that same sequence here, left side, it's the left toes that lift high. Rooting down through the right heel. Pressing strong into your hands. And then as you exhale, step that left foot between the hands. Lift up to the fingertips. Belly's lifted and squeezed. Feeling the legs strong, the hips drop low. The right heel softens down to the yoga mat. And then as you inhale, start to lift the upper body up. Arms reach high. If you feel the right hip and right shoulder wandering back, try to pull them forward towards that left leg. The left hip bone sinks back so you can deepen into your lunge. Big deep breath in. Exhale, arms open, it's warrior two. Look out over the left fingers and energy lengthening through the arms. Sink the hips just a little bit lower. And then reach the right arm forward. Pull the left arm back like you're about to fire your bow and arrow. And then make that 90-degree angle with the arms. And then from there, start to open just a little bit more. Feeling that twist, that opening towards that left leg. As you exhale, bring the hands down. Step the left foot back. Make your way to downward facing dog for 3 deep breaths. As you inhale, lift those right toes high to 3-legged dog. Exhale, step the foot between the hands. Lift up to the fingertips again, belly's engaged. And this time we'll soften the back knee down. So you really want to slide that knee back as far as you can. You can always place a blanket or a pillow under the left knee if you need. But the weight is really forward on that knee, so it's not on the front of my knee, it's on the meaty part above it. Let that right thigh squeeze in. And then bring the hands right on top of the right leg. Feel the left hip pressing forward and down, so you get a big stretch through the front side. The heart lifts up. The chin can lift as well. This is Anjaneyasana. It's like a little sliver of the moon here with your body. If you'd like to move a little further, you can lift the arms up. Or keep them on that right knee. Just breathing into the opening now through the whole front side of the body. 3 more breaths. As you exhale, bring the left hand down to the right foot. We're going to come into a Dragonfly Twist here with the back knee down. The right fingers start to lift high. So you're twisting here. Really opening through the upper body now. Eyes trying to look towards your right fingers. As you exhale, bring the right hand down. Uncurl those back left toes. Step the right foot back. Make your way to downward facing dog. Other side now, it's the left toes for that 3-legged dog. And then the left foot steps forward. Lifting up to the fingertips. Soften the back knee down, really sliding it back as far as you can. And then allow the hips to press down and forward as the hands come up to the left knee. Pressing your hips down, opening the heart, lifting the chin. And then extending the arms if you'd like to open just a little more through the chest. And then breathing here. One more big breath in. Exhale, bring the right hand down to the yoga mat. Opening into the twist as you take your breath in, left fingers high. Look towards your left hand. Pressing strong into your right hand. Feeling that rotation through the hips. Left shoulder peeling back. And then your next exhale brings the left hand down. Uncurl the back toes. Make your way to downward facing dog. Softening the knees down, returning to that tabletop position. Taking the left foot, stepping it back behind you. So you're stepping on the left foot, right knee is down on the mat. Bring the right hand right in front of that right knee. And then start to open the body sideways. So like that little dragonfly, the arms opening wide. And now we're in a modified side plank here. So that right knee is supporting you as the arms reach. And then, like we did in those little half planks we did, try to let the right knee become light. So you're pressing into the right hand so much that you could lift that knee up, and then maybe gently set it back down. Good. 2 more breaths. Start to lift the upper body up. And we'll take a stretch over to that left leg here. So the right arm comes up and over. Maybe the eyes look towards the sky or past the elbow. I'm going to say the next cue, so listen. All you're going to do is sit down, and you're going to face the back of the mat. The legs are basically going to be in the same position, so the left leg stays straight, the right leg stays bent. You can bring the right hand down to the mat now. Start to sit onto the hip. The left leg straight, right sole of the foot connects to the inner thigh there. Inhale your arms up. This is Janu Shirsasana. It's a little half stretch over one leg. We'll spend a couple extra breaths here because it feels good. Just try to soften into the stretch. Inhale to gently sit up. We're going to twist to the front of the mat now. So left shoulder reaches towards the right knee. We're going to come into Pigeon Pose. So the legs stay the same. Left leg stays straight. Right leg stays bent. We're going to try to get that shin close to parallel to the front of the yoga mat. The left leg is long behind you. It's going to be a big, deep stretch in the right hip. Gently start to crawl the arms forward. You can take a pit stop on the forearms, just trying to soften and settle in there. If you want to stay on the forearms, that's an option, or you can move deeper by crawling the hands forward and letting the upper body soften down into the stretch. And again, spending a few extra moments in this ooey gooey hip opening. And then when you're ready, starting to walk the hands back. We're going to come into a downward facing dog. So curl that back toe under. Step the right foot back. And from your downward facing dog, we'll return to the tabletop pose. Right leg lengthens behind you. Left hand comes right in front of that left knee, and then we open up to that modified side plank here. Pushing really strong into the left hand. Looking up towards your right fingers or towards the sky. And then really pushing strong into the left hand. Left, yeah. Pushing into your left hand, starting to lighten the pressure on that left knee. Maybe even picking that knee up and then gently setting it back down. 2 more breaths. Inhale, lifts the upper body up, stretching over that right leg now. You can allow the eyes to look up to the ceiling. And then listening carefully to the cues, just sitting down, the right leg stays straight, the left leg stays bent. Place the left hand down, sit the left hip down first. Connect the left sole of the foot now into the right inner thigh. Arms reach up nice and high. And then exhale, reaching for that right foot. Again, a little extra time to soften over the right leg. Inhale, you gently sit up. The left shoulder goes back as you twist to the left now, coming into that pigeon pose to the front of the mat. Shin parallel. Right leg is straight and long behind you. And once you feel your hips settled there, start to lower down to the forearms. Maybe even deepening all the way down, letting the upper body melt forward. The head softening to the mat. And if you've forgotten, try to bring your attention and awareness back to the breathing. Allowing the breath to help you soften in. And when you're ready, starting to walk the hands back. Curling the right toes under, making your way to downward facing dog. We'll take 3 deep breaths here. And then exhale, soften back down to the knees. We're going to come to seated so you can swing the legs around in front of you. Bending your knees, placing the feet flat on the floor, squeezing the thighs together, the knees connect. Start to push into the balls of the feet so that you could lift the heels up off the ground. And then reach the arms in front of you. See if you can lengthen the spine so the shoulders really roll down and back. And then feel the belly and the core engaged here. It's a little bit of a modified boat pose. This is option 1. You can stay here, or if you'd like to move further, you can wrap the hands behind the thighs and then start to let the toes lift up off the ground. And just let the shins be parallel to the mat or the ceiling. And feel yourself balancing here. If you'd like to let go with one hand, you can start to reach that hand forward. If you let go with both hands and reach them forward and balance just there on the sits bones. And if you've got the toes down still, you can keep the arms reaching. Maybe just lift one leg. And then soften one leg down. Lift the other leg. And soften. We've got about 5 more breaths here. You can keep alternating those legs. You can hold on. You can try to let go for just a second if you need to grab back on. Just feel your core engage. This last little push of effort of class. 3 deep breaths. Last big breath in, lift, let go, balance, hold, squeeze, and then exhale it all the way down onto your back. Just feel yourself now release heavy onto the ground. A big full breath in. And then exhale, squeeze those knees into the chest. You can make little circles with the knees here. It's like a little mini massage. Reversing the circles. Then a little counter stretch here, a bridge pose. Place the feet flat on the floor. Make sure the neck is long. The shoulders rooting down into the ground. And then inhale, the hips start to lift up. Just like the beginning of class. Now maybe feeling a little bit sweeter and juicier on the abdominals and the hips after that boat pose. And as you exhale, gently lower back down. One more heart-opening shape here, another bridge pose or any other variation you'd like to take. It's an inhale to lift the hips up. And just a few breaths. Exhale, soften back down to the ground. Squeeze the knees into the chest. Rock and roll forward and back till you come to a seated position. Bringing the soles of the feet together, the knees open wide. Thumbs placed on the arches of the feet, and the heart lifts up. Feel yourself grounded, sitting tall for just a moment. Maybe allow the eyes to close. Lifting the shoulders up towards the ears so you're hunching. And then as you exhale, roll the shoulders down and back to help you grow and sit up taller. The belly's lifted and engaged here. Feeling that strength and power as you sit tall. Big inhale. And then exhale, start to bow the upper body forward, melting over the hips and legs. You can take any variation of the arms here, letting the thumbs stay on the arches of the feet. Maybe crawling the hands out in front of you. Just trying to soften here into this deep stretch. It's totally normal for the mind to start to wander. So when it does, gently remind yourself to return to the breathing. Inhale to sit back up tall. And as you exhale, we'll start to twist to the right here. So the left hand comes to the right knee, right hand comes behind you. Just trying to feel some rotation through the spine. And the breath is still strong and full. About 3 more breaths to just twist a little bit deeper. Inhale to look to the front of the mat, undoing the twist. Exhale, twisting the other direction. Inhale, look to the front. Exhale, extend the legs out nice and long, flexing the feet. Reach your arms up nice and high on the breath in. And then exhale, fold forward. Grabbing for the calves or the ankles, the feet. Wherever you can bind. And then breathing into the lengthening of the backs of the legs. Inhale gently, sitting up nice and tall. And then exhale to make your way on to lying on your back. Start to lift the toes up to the ceiling. You can grab behind the thighs here if that helps you, but the goal is to get the toes to be the highest point of the body, where they're normally the lowest. And this is a great way to reduce any stress or inflammation in the feet or the ankles. If you also have a blank wall or an empty wall near you, you could walk the hips close to it, let the legs go up the wall. And if that's where you are today, you can stay right there. If you'd like to move a little further, we'll try to talk you into headstand here. So start to lift those toes even higher so that they go past the head behind you, being careful of the spine. The hips will lift up off the ground. And then take the hands to the low back here. And it's going to be like a little kickstand, the elbows down on the mat as you start to lengthen the toes up to the sky. Again, finding any variation here with the toes being the highest point. And then just spending a few breaths here, letting the circulation kind of flow the opposite direction in the legs. You may even feel a little tingling in the toes. The sensation will come back when you lower the feet back down. 3 more breaths, wherever you are. As you exhale, gently roll back down, placing the feet flat on the floor. We'll take a little spinal twist here so the knees will hug in nice and tight. Drop the knees over to the right. Similar to the way we started class, the arms will open out to the side. Chin will turn to the left. And even if the breath starts to return to its natural rhythm, can you stay present with it? You feel the ribs expand as you breathe in and out. In these last few shapes of class, really drawing you into relaxation and recovery. Not just physically, but also mentally. Knees will pass through the center. And then exhale, soften to the left. Arms open. Chin turns. And settling in on the other side. Inhale to bring the knees back into the center. And then a chance for any last little movements here. A happy baby, another bridge pose, or anything that just gets any last minute wiggles and jiggles out before we come into stillness. And then when you're ready, lengthening the legs out long, finding a comfortable place for the hands or arms. If they haven't already, the eyes can soften closed. And then a scan through your body to see where you might still be gripping or holding on. Letting the body melt heavy into the mat here for our final pose, Shavasana. Take rest. Taking a big deep breath in, and letting it go. Any small movements in the body now to wake you back up. And transitioning through any shapes you need to make your way to a final seated meditation. Sitting up nice and tall, drawing the hands to heart center. Breathing in, full breath. And then exhale to bow forward, sealing your practice and all of your effort today. Inhale sits you back up tall. Exhale, eyes blink open. Namaste. Thank you for being here. Happy Monday. I hope everyone is happy and safe and doing well. And we'll see you next time. John's teaching tomorrow, 9:30 Vinyasa. much harder than this. Awful, sweaty, not awful, it's lovely, but sweaty, hard. And then Friday we have our 9:30, now what is it called? Yoga burn, which is like yoga and then some like cardio and HIIT exercises. And then yin and juice, which is slow, and we'll be drinking. So thanks for joining us. Have a great week and bye.